tell us, why is London more of an attraction to international retailers than any other European city?
I think there's a number of reasons. Firstly, retailers are attracted to London because of the exceptional sales figures. They'll obviously be aware of the success of the retailers that are already here. And unlike much of the UK, sales figures in central London have been remarkably resilient in the last few years. We've never really seen the downturn that a lot of the other parts of the country have suffered, and that's obviously reflected in both sales figures and ultimately profitability.
And what are retailers thinking about when they come to London? What is the kind of attraction than any other city in the UK?
Well, I think certainly in terms of the rest of the UK, then its big attraction is the tourist numbers. Tourist numbers are up generally year on year. Tourist spending is very good. A lot of that is to do with the weakness of the pound, but also because of London's attraction. Obviously, the tourist attractions themselves are exceptional, world class. We've got world class theatres, restaurants, and retail. So basically, the spend, a lot of it is to do with those tourist numbers, and you get a little bit of that in some of the regional cities, but clearly not anything like the same scale that we have here in London.
Okay, we're here on Oxford Street. How much can a retailer expect to pay for one of these properties?
Well, rents will vary massively depending on the size of the property. Could be anything from 500 square feet, £500 a square foot for the smaller units. For the much larger ones, you'd probably be nearer to about 100. So there's a huge variation depending on the size.
Okay, and what's the record? What is an example of?
Well, one of the most recent deals that is being talked about in the market is Forever 21's buying the old Disney store a few doors down from here. They paid a premium to buy that lease in excess of 13 million, which is a record deal for London.
Okay. And how limited is the supply of these properties?
Limited, very limited. Basically, the very best properties there's huge demand for. And there is a difference between the most desirable units and some of the less desirable. They might be less desirable in terms of their size or location on the street. But the very best flagship stores, very little supply, which is resulting in such large figures being paid for them when they do become available.
And just with the Olympics coming up next year, is there a rush for these retailers to secure a property?
Yeah, I think it's very much the icing on the cake for them. If they can secure a flagship store and open pre-Olympics, that's great, but we have to recognise that it is only 2 weeks of the year. They still have to have a viable unit. Undoubtedly they'll have great sales for those 2 weeks, but they're still going to be taking a longer term lease that needs to be profitable after the Olympics as well.